Happy Saturday, Houston. Where are your plans taking you? Well, it is looking absolutely gorgeous if you're headed to the island. Already seeing clearing skies. We are seeing a little bit of cloud cover to start off the day in a couple of other spots. Missouri City seeing some cloud cover, but by this afternoon, plenty of sunshine. Herman Park looking a little bit hazy today, but plenty of sunshine, a gorgeous day to spend outdoors, but with a little bit of an asterisk, especially downtown. We're talking about Harris County, we're talking about Brazoria, and even Galveston, because there is an air quality alert and the heat is certainly back for this weekend. Have a look at the highs for today and tomorrow. We'll be in the low 90s, but feels like conditions will take us into the mid 90s. We are factoring in some humidity after all, and pay attention to that little 20%. A very low end potential to see a stray shower. The big weather story though, we're seeing more back-to-back 90-degree days. We're already up to 6 days for the month of May. Not typical. In fact, average temperature for this time of year, 86 degrees. We are coming up close to the 90-degree days that we saw back in 2020. That was a hot year. Here's a breakdown of today, hour by hour. So by lunchtime, it's going to be 86 degrees. It's going to feel like 95 though, feeling like 97 at 2. The actual air temperature at 89 degrees, pumping in more heat. Some humidity by 4, 92, feeling like 94. And in fact, you really want to try and limit your time outdoors between the time frame of 4 and 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's because we are dealing with some ground level ozone. Not a bad chunk of time, so try to work your plans around that. Maybe head out to the pool beforehand, maybe head to a late dinner afterwards, and just try to avoid that time frame, especially if you're part of the unhealthy for sensitive groups, which means if you battle with asthma or if you have some respiratory issues, you don't want to exhaust your lungs. So let's talk about that very low end rain chance. Remember, it's only at a 20%, and that's because most of the energy is well off to our east. We've got this weak boundary that could bring us a potential for an isolated spot shower. This is mainly east of I-45. Really nothing showing up on Futurecast radar, but I just want to give you that potential out there in case you do feel a stray shower. You will be part of the lucky ones because we really do need that moisture and really not much of it in sight. In fact, for the next week, so between now and next weekend, no rain chances whatsoever. We've got to fast forward until this coming Monday. So not this Monday, but the following one to see the potential for some shower activity, which we so desperately need. As you know, latest drought monitor came in on Thursday, and things are certainly worsening, especially along the coastline. Brazoria, Matagorda, seeing the severe to extreme drought conditions. Galveston in that severe drought. Chambers in that severe drought. Harris County, really an assortment of drought conditions from abnormally dry there in the yellow to a moderate drought there in the tan color, and then that darker sort of mustard color indicating a severe drought. Liberty in that same situation, a range of drought conditions. Washington dry or moderate drought. Austin County there also dealing with some moderate drought conditions, and it's really an area-wide issue that's persisting. We're just not seeing a lot of rainfall, especially in this last few months, and that's setting us back not only for our area but really statewide. Let's get to some better news because we've got some phenomenal things happening this weekend, especially in our atmosphere. Check it out. The lunar eclipse happening Sunday. The partial eclipse starts at 9:27, but if you want to see the totality of this incredible astronomical event, it's going to happen at 10:29. That is when the moon is completely covered by the shadow of Earth, and that's because the sun, the Earth, and the moon are aligning. So this big shadow that the Earth casts on the moon will give it an absolutely spectacular appearance. It'll give it this reddish kind of coppery hue, and what's amazing about this event is that we'll actually be awake to see it. Most times we've got to set our clocks and get up in the middle of the night to take a look at it, but this one will happen during a pretty reasonable hour. You don't have to wake up and disrupt your sleep for that. So it'll start at 10:29 for the total lunar eclipse, and then the peak of the eclipse will happen at 11:11, and then by the time it's wrapping up, 11:53, and then we go back to that partial eclipse until 12:55. But even so, it's still beautiful to see the moon kind of half lit in that orangey hue. So you might want to watch it throughout the duration of even the partial to the total lunar eclipse. And the next time we'll be able to see an event like this during normal viewing hours won't be until 2029. So you definitely want to take advantage of it happening this Sunday. We are tracking conditions to see if they are favorable for you to view this lunar eclipse. And as of now, it is looking pretty great. So mostly to partly clear. So a little bit of cloud cover showing up in some of our models, but definitely if you're out there, especially for an extended period of time, if you're viewing it for the duration of the total lunar eclipse, which is an hour and 24 minutes, you will certainly catch it as those clouds wisp by. So remember, that's happening tomorrow night. For today, we're going to be hot as we have been the last week or so, and we are tracking that little chance for just a spot shower. Most of us will not see any moisture. If you do, just consider yourself lucky, because the rest of the weather story, as it has been, is going to be hot and trending on the humid side. In fact, for next week, not only will temperatures remain in the low 90s, dew points are going to start to kick up. We're adding in more moisture, so those heat indices going back into the triple digits. This weekend, they're in the 90s. So at least we've got that to look forward to. All right, we will see you back live here for our newscast. Otherwise, enjoy a wonderful weekend.